Hi, in this video I will explain you in very detailed for the IPS strategy how you should implement the IPS in your environment. So the first very important thing is you have to understand your environment. How big is your network? Maybe you have few data centers and then maybe you have so many large offices, so many medium offices and so many small offices. Maybe you have also OT, operational technology, where like cranes and all those stuff is there. You need to understand how big, how complex is your network where you're going to apply the IPS and IDS. The second important thing is once you have the understanding of your all the network, you need to define the scope. You need to think, okay, which direction you have to apply the traffic, because you are now already aware of the data flow in and exit points. So you can say, okay, I want the IPS to be applied for all internal traffic because insider threat is ranked as a high. And you can say, okay, always from the LAN to internet, from server to internet, from DMZ to internet, also always from internet to DMZ. So you can define that. And once you define the in-scope item, always define the phase-wise approach. Otherwise, your any implementation will fail. It doesn't matter if it is IPS implementation or if it is something else you are going to implement from the security perspective. Phase-wise, you can choose, okay, I will only implement in the data center. And further, you can also choose, okay, in the data center also, I will only apply for LAN to WAN and from internet to DMZ and DMZ to internet. You can say, okay, for now, server to internet is not in scope. That's upon you how you define. You can also think, okay, there are legacy applications, they are not in scope right now. We need to maybe separate them, put them in another VLAN, and we need to monitor their behavior. So that's how you can plan. In phase-wise approach, you can also go first the monitoring and then go for the blocking. If you ask me, if you directly go with the default profile is that in which few critical are blocked, few medium are blocked, and it's not everything blocked. Some are monitored, some are allowed. You can choose the default also. That's the best recommended from the vendors. But if you ask me, I always go with high critical, medium, all block. Till day, I haven't faced any issue because in the end, it is blocking the intrusion attempts. So if something is blocked, the user will cry and you will get a call, you'll see the logs and just bypass the IPS for that particular, but you are securing the whole traffic. So that's a phase-wise approach, how you will follow the phase-wise approach. So in the phase-wise approach, I also told you like policy type you can choose. Policy type is like monitoring only policy or blocking or default policy. Integration with SIM. It is very important to do the integration with SIM because if you have any vendor, for example, FortiGate and you have IPS, there will be a lot of alerts. But if you will integrate with the SIM, it makes your life easy because if there are a lot of alerts, you're not going to see each and every alert, right? So if there is integration, SIM gets the logs from all the resources. So it will do the correlation and it will give you one log. Okay, see, this is having issue. So it will generate the ticket and you have to only see that particular intrusion attempt, right? Because it will do the correlation. Integrate with the SIM is very important. Always update the IPS signature because if you have old signature, it's not going to protect your network. So there is an option with the vendor, like how quick you want to update the signature. 2 hours, 1 hour. Yeah, I think go with the minimum hours option they give. It depends how quick they push the updates because they will create the signature and then they will push it's not like if you choose 1 hour, they have not created, you will get within 1 hour, you will get nothing. But there's an option that you can say each 2 hours, please keep on checking. So it will check if there is a new signature, it will get the signature. Very important thing, IPS is not configure one and done. It is continuous improvement. If you get alert, you need to see, you need to fine tune. You can also bypass IPS for few of your application. You can also bypass for your third-party application. You can scope out, you can exclude few things. Most important thing that I forgot to tell you, still we have a time, is encryption. If you will not decrypt the traffic, then IPS is very high level intrusions you are checking, because if you're not opening the packet, you don't know what is inside. Like there is a Tiffin box and inside the Tiffin box, there can be a bomb, right? But outside it looks very beautiful. So first like DNS packet goes, then three-way handshake will happen. And then HTTP as handshake will start happening and a time comes when the packet is completely encrypted. Once HTTP as handshake is complete, then all the traffic will be encrypted. Data will go after it has been encrypted. And if it is encrypted, you cannot see anything. I mean, your firewall or your any another IPS device, it cannot see anything until it will decrypt the packet. So it is important that you put decryption also. There's also another thing, you can always challenge the security guys. Is there any policy which asks me to enable IPS and IDS? And if there is no policy, you can argue with them, why should I enable it, right? And if there is a policy, what the policy defines, should I monitor, should I block, or what should I do? So these kind of things you can ask to, because you need to get direction from the security team. If there is no policy, you get no direction. Policies are directions, right? But it's not like if there is no policy, disable them. It's like prudent man approach, what a person will do in certain situation. If you will all the doors are open, of course attackers will come. So the prudent man approach is like, okay, close the doors, and not very strict, like apply like 10 locks, but yeah, at least close them and then see, okay, what extra additional measures we have to apply. So enable IPS, maybe use the default policy and then check with the security team, okay, do we have a policy? They say, yeah, policy we do have. Okay, what is the scope where we have to implement? So do the coordination and then go ahead with your approach. So that's overall I told you about IPS. I'm not going to tell you about the configuration, but this is high level videos where you have to think about the strategy for implementing IPS. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.